Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Barry. With me this week, as he always is, it's the Whiskey Mutant, Eric.
It's me, and I'm surrounded by snacks from other countries.
Don't sound too excited.
I'm nervous, actually.
You know what's ridiculous, too? As soon as I hit record, my body temperature raised about 10 degrees.
Oh.
Like, I just felt warmer.
Damn.
It's just, it's great.
Hang on, what sort of podcast are we doing today?
Well, actually, Greg, this one is a paid-only podcast.
This is special.
Yeah.
Like, ultra special. Okay. But you probably are hearing a third voice and seeing a third person on screen if you're watching the video version of this. I am very happy to welcome to the show for the first time and introduce you all to our new friend and somebody who has just been excited about doing anything with us for a little while. Greg Keeley of Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company. Greg.
Hey, guys. Good to be here.
Thank you so much.
I do get excited for no reason.
I like how he's a gentleman, too. He's like, good to be here when we're actually in his place right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is true. I think he means like in the non-physical space.
When he said that,
on the interweb.
Yeah.
I looked around, I was like, we're actually in his place.
But we're actually sitting outside of the toilet is where we're sitting.
I love the stickers on it too.
Yeah.
That took me a long time to find. Literally, I
that was intentional though.
It was. Oh,
That's
it was,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, want to run through the normal stuff that we say. If you have not yet subscribed to the show, please do so. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at My Bourbon Pod and at Whiskey Mutant, and you can go follow at Lawrenceburg Bourbon Co. Right?
Or at
company.
Lawrenceburg Bourbon.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It's on the screen now, so you can see. I mean, but yeah. Send questions or comments to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on the podcast app of choice. You can, leave us a voicemail for the barrel ring segment of the show. Eric, guess what?
What?
We got barrel rings this week.
Oh, boy.
With a special guest, too.
Oh, man.
That's going to go over super well. He's going to regret ever agreeing to let us do any of this. We've got a big episode. This is episode 275.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's coincidental because we've been around for 275 years.
Isn't that crazy how things just work out like that?
Yeah.
I'm so
I think
excited.
we're the oldest bourbon brand in the world.
And the only bourbon... I'm going to bail on that anyway. I didn't have a good joke to go with that. You can find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. And then you can support the show by heading to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content. All tiers as well on Patreon have access to our Discord server, which is just a wild west of a place.
It is.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And Eric is the instigator for a lot of that.
I am. I've finally got more power in there too. So
did you have to ask Steven for it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think I realized what you did. You just acted like you couldn't give me power.
No, I couldn't.
Because you didn't want me to have power.
No, I wanted you to have the power. But it sounds like you might have more power than I do now. That's what it sounds like from the way that you're talking.
He didn't want you to have
I have the power to make people post really inappropriate things that they never feel comfortable posting it on normal social media.
Yeah.
That's the power.
That's what you get on the Discord. But the Patreon, of course, is where you get first access to things like tickets to our live shows and our meetup weekends. Our barrel picks, which...
Speaking of.
We're going to get into that in just a moment. And it's just a really great community. We got a couple of new patrons. Well, a new patron and one who's upgraded this week.
I was talking to them
as
the
well.
other day.
So we're going to get into that in just a bit. But we normally start the show out with...
Oh, boy.
Either Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks, and we got a double header of Sips and Snacks this week.
Okay.
Where do you want to start?
I think let's start with just the snack I brought.
Okay. I was gonna say we are in a guest's.
We're gonna build up.
environment.
Well, I think this is the main course here.
Well, that is true.
Everybody
looks at that and says that's the main course.
What Greg provided. So I thought
you can live on that.
Absolutely,
that
you
alone.
Yep.
Oh. We'll see.
The Australian Armed Forces won the Emu Wars just on
That's
Vegemite.
true. Mm-hmm.
Won a what award?
The Emu Wars.
What is that?
That is a
An award? you
no.
said?
That is
No.
a real thing that happened in Australia.
Yeah.
The awards?
There was an overrun of emus,
Yeah.
and they had to fight them.
A war.
Yeah,
a
it was,
war.
I thought you said they won an award.
No, that's what they.
Well, they
won
probably did after.
Emu wars?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had emus had like weapons and stuff.
Well, they were muskets.
Man,
Yeah.
I always thought everybody was just like blowing it up when they're like, "There's crazy creatures in Australia and stuff like that."
Oh,
But there's emus with guns.
Yeah, it's part of their well-regulated militia.
Yeah, that's right.
What is the wildest creature that you have seen, Greg?
You ever punched a kangaroo?
I haven't punched a kangaroo. I've seen someone do it.
That's so metal.
But I don't know. All the creatures are kind of crazy. The people always say everything in Australia can kill you, and it's absolutely 100% true.
Sure.
100%. Jellyfish can kill you. Everything can kill you.
Biggest spider that you've ever seen?
Ooh, be bigger than that.
That's too big, man.
But the most deadly ones are the little tiny black ones with the red backs.
Oh, the ones that just like hide in your shoes. And you
Yeah,
always-
They bite people on the butt and the balls because they hide in your bathroom, in your toilet, under your
I
seat.
don't know if I ever want to go to Australia.
I do. I so badly want to go.
Some guy when I was
A poisonous spider biting your balls?
No, I can look.
it's
Okay.
but the good thing is if it bites you on the other part, it swells up.
Oh,
So it's
It's
good.
kind of.
that's the thing, isn't it?
It's good
got a
before you go to a
purpose.
party.
That's the thing, isn't it?
But yeah, no, I was
my
when I
party
was
favor.
when I was in when I was at the Naval Academy, one guy got bitten on the balls twice in a year.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know anyone until that point.
That's 2 times too many as far
Oh
as
my
I'm
God.
concerned, but definitely 1 time too many within any given year.
Just yesterday on his birthday, my brother kicked a fish. True story. In Sydney, kicked a fish, turned out to be a stonefish, which is more deadly than like a python. And they had to call the ambulance. They were worried about his vitals. It's like Steve Irwin got killed by a stingray, and my brother nearly went by kicking a fish.
Well,
It all happens at home. All happens.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
So sorry for going off.
visit Australia.
Speaking of speaking of stonefish, we have a pecan wheel from
Just
Little
like-
Debbie.
Just like a stonefish.
And I used the last of. I mean, we're here at Lawrenceburg Bourbon. We might as well use
Ooh.
some 7-year rye cask 2. 90% rye, 10% malted barley, 116 proof. This thing is so good, and
This blew us away.
and I immediately wanted to pair it. And I think that this with the pecan and kind of the breakfasty snack, it's gonna be great. And in the pecan well, you can pour like a drop or two, Greg,
Ooh.
right over top of it, and it will kind of soak in there. And that's how you pair this.
Ooh.
That's what I'm about.
I've never had a Little Debbie anything. No.
He's a
This
little.
is-
Can't say
I'm
that. The mascot's a child. Can't say that.
Yes.
This is a big moment.
It is.
I'm watching somebody have their first Little Debbie.
This
cake.
is Debbie Does Lawrenceburg.
There we go.
Or,
That's
no, we can't say that
that's the
either.
title of the show.
She's a child. No. Their
yeah.
mascot. I mean, she's like a 70-year-old woman now, but
Well,
you know, you
exactly.
can't say
Okay.
anything too weird.
Yep. There's the pour over.
He dove right in. I just
Oh.
wanted to take a bite first. I haven't had anything to eat yet today.
Oh, that's good.
That's so good, man.
That's really good.
And that little bit of spice added to the cake is just.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's delicious.
Oh, I never would have thought about that.
See,
All
what I'm seeing happen right now is just a live demonstration of something that no other distillery has, no other bourbon company has, and that's an opportunity to pair
Mm-hmm.
whiskey. Like people come in and they pay for like a tasting and a pairing.
That's delicious.
And you get this guy to.
This is like, have you ever had trifle? It's like, it's very English, but it's like sponge cake with sherry and whiskey and stuff and cream.
I like the sound of it.
This is what this tastes like.
Oh,
We grew up on it.
it's so good.
This
That
is
is
delicious.
Delicious, man.
And then you drink the one cask afterwards, and the whiskey just tastes.
Yeah.
It pops.
We finished that.
We might have some more if you need some.
A lot of things.
If you're offering, Greg.
Oh my goodness.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Oh, that's great.
Your palate has been prepped.
Oh,
Your brain has been swimming with the opportunity here to try something you truly have never had before.
I've never had this, so this is a first for me.
And I'm very excited for you to try Vegemite for the first time.
There we go.
mm-hmm.
So we're gonna eat this on a cracker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's a little knife and
There we go.
plate and everything. Oh, wait till you smell it.
Did you say Australia?
I thought it was gonna smell like Nutella.
Oh no.
It's got the word veg in the name, man.
I
Yeah.
know, but still, I've seen pictures of it spread on toast and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like a sweet little
Ooh.
treat."
I wonder if this might pair. Oh man, that's not what I want. That one that's in front of.
The 10-year rye?
Yeah, that's never been opened before.
Well,
So why don't we give it a crack?
I love
Okay.
this day.
okay.
This is my favorite.
If you don't
day.
like the 10-year rye, though, don't say anything. Just say it's. Oh, that's nice.
That's fine.
That's fine. What's next? Oh, that's
Oh,
the
that
greatest
rye
sound.
is just so good, though.
It really is that 7-year.
Oh my gosh, it's got a brightness to it that you don't really expect from a rye whiskey with that high of a rye content from it.
Did you guys ever try our Barrel 3?
I think we had.
1 and 2, maybe.
Yeah, I
Thank
think we
you.
just had 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, Barrel, thank you. 1 and 3 was going to be my keep at home barrel. Was only half
Don't
a
tell
barrel.
anybody about it.
No, we
And-
did. I think we did have 3.
Oh, you might have.
Yeah, we took 3 samples.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
I tried
you're
them in
right.
here, and I said one.
No. That was the bourbon.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the bourbon.
No, the rye we only
Rye.
had 1 and 2
Yeah.
of.
Oh,
So this is a 10-year-old rye out of 10 barrels.
oh. The spice on the back end is amazing. Like it starts like it's soothing up front, and then it hits you with like peppermint, almost like peppermint and chocolate in the back. Like, oh,
Now that you say that, I get it's like an after dinner mint.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I-
it's oh my god, that's good.
Like peppermint ice cream.
Yeah, something like that, like a little desserty, and you don't notice it until like the finish. Like it all comes together in the finish.
And midway through too, there is like this savory note that I wasn't anticipating either.
Okay, I'm getting used to.
Okay,
this now.
here's the thing.
This
Wow.
Vegemite.
Nothing that this cannot be worse than a durian.
Oh.
Oh, that thing is that.
We have a listener and friend. He's not just a listener, Don, who lives in Hawaii. And for our meetup last year, he brought over durian snack cakes. And it was some of the. It was
tasted
one of
like
the most.
rotten hamburger meat.
It was so bad, and I can still like recall how horrible that made me feel about just life in general.
Really?
But
Well,
oh
it
my
shouldn't be that
gosh,
bad.
no, this is gonna be much
Greg,
more enjoyable.
what's the best cracker to
Well, that's just
Vegemite
Yeah, that's like a
ratio?
basic Jats cracker, but it just has to be
Just
thin.
a lightly.
It's
just-
not. But don't be too light that you're being like all pandy-assed about it.
He's
it's
calling
so
you out, brother.
thick.
It's.
I thought
See,
it
I
was going
let
to be
that
like. Greg, you're so thick.
I'm really.
This has been a great day so
I'm
far.
being very responsible today.
Full of restraint and honor.
Right, exactly.
You had to, you tried it before you even had it.
No, I didn't have enough on there.
Okay, all right.
We broke out the very best silverware for you too.
Hey, this is perfect for me. This is what I use at home. I don't want to wash no dish.
That's good for water.
So you do break out the nice china when we come over for.
Yeah, when you come over, you get to have the one glass plate we have.
What if I just tripped one day and it was?
Well, April would be pissed.
Yeah. Well,
I told you not to bring out the nice plates, Barry.
sorry, April.
All right. Is that good?
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh.
Might want to give it a lick
Mm.
just to get
Old
that
lick daddy.
A lot of audio that we can use.
Mm-hmm.
Cut that out. Here's words from Greg from Lawrenceburg Bourbon. You might want to give it a lick.
Well, it's got that lovely saltiness.
Oh my God! Why is it so salty? I thought this was going to be sweet.
Again, it's got veg in the name.
I know, but that doesn't mean that it. My eyes are deceiving me because it looks like Nutella.
Mm.
Okay, I'm not mad at this.
I love it, man.
Oh, so do I.
Oh,
Okay, I can get behind this. I don't know if I could do like a spoon of it by itself.
Now try the.
Why does it
10
taste
by 10.
meaty?
Oh,
Has it got beef in it?
yeah, like bouillon.
They should have called it beef of mine.
that's called Promite.
I actually prefer Promite.
Do you?
Well, there's an actual thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, whoa, whoa!
It works great, doesn't it?
This?
That's so weird.
Okay.
That actually gives it a little bit of a sweetness that you were looking for.
This
It does.
Isn't that weird?
This is a perfect example of the salty sweet mixture. Like, I'm not saying it tastes like this, but it's like when you have popcorn and like chocolate candy at the movies or something. There's like a pepperminty chocolate here, and then you get this salty savory with this. That's fucking good.
Oh, you go for the pour
Oh.
over.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, that's good.
I always know something works
That's
when your eyes bug out. I always know that is a good sign.
That's like a charcuterie board, but you've took the cracker and you layered it up with like this
All
kind
the
of like
salty
a
meat.
peppered, like sweet pepper jelly, and then like a bunch of like pepperoni and stuff, and then you've had a little bit of bite to it with the whiskey, and all you had to do was take this and just spread it on a cracker.
Yeah.
Wow,
You should.
Greg, thanks for this. This is
And that was a new jar.
You know what you should do is
Press crack.
make your kids cupcakes
and put this on it.
and not
They'll
tell
kill
them.
me. I don't want to have a bad night on my night off.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be a good little.
This will be something good to do to
Do you
my
know
daily
what
burden.
Vegemite is fabulous in? If you make a Bloody Mary, you put either the celery stick or a spoon, and you stir that into the Bloody Mary.
Oh,
It's because of the salty and the savory. It's delicious in a Bloody Mary. I could just sit here and eat
so
those.
many things to try now.
I
Man,
mean-
that was fantastic.
got whiskey and snacks and
You're right at home, dude.
Gosh.
all that.
And that was the first ever public airing of the 10 by 10. We only got that into the cellar door
10
yesterday.
by 10. I like that. From 10 counts.
We
18
have
years.
been very fortunate, and we'll get to what we've been drinking in a moment. But we really have been fortunate to be on the cutting edge, I guess, with Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, and get the chance to try so many of your all's products before anybody else. And like, first of all, thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah,
Well, no,
I mean,
thank
it's
you.
really
You guys,
appreciate it.
you know, it's you guys gave us the opportunity, and we're very grateful for that.
It was
Like,
just
no one knew who we were.
It was just a very natural, like, hey, you know, we'd love to see what's going on, and you know, Lawrenceburg is just steeped in bourbon richness history, and you know, it just made sense for us to kind of reach out and try to see where this relationship could go, and sure enough, here we are preparing for a meetup and preparing to pick a barrel for it. And we trusted you guys enough too to
Hope you like it.
allow us to get into it. But dude.
It's so and it's just so inviting here.
Yeah.
Like
I feel very at home.
Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, it's obvious we're in Lawrenceburg. There's a lot of bourbon around. There's a lot of stuff, and it's nice to come to a place that, like, when you open the door, you hear the bell ring, and you're just like, I feel comfortable here. I'm not like, because I can remember going places for the first time, distilleries, and you almost feel intimidated, like. Yeah. You're nervous to ask, like, what's going on or anything like that. And, like, here it's just like, hey, how's it going? Welcome me right in. And I was just like, and then the next thing I know, we're trying all this stuff and we're talking, and other people from town are hanging out and they're tasting with us and all this stuff. Like, it's just so nice. Like, definitely a comforting, friendly environment that you really need when you're kind of stressed over, like, am I going to get to this place or am I getting to this place? Like, come here, chill. They got tasting bar. They've got other stuff you can try, their own stuff, other people's stuff. Like, it's just an awesome place.
I want to come back to that in a moment, because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Yeah, I figure he's our guest, so I got to ask him first.
Yeah.
Greg, what have you been drinking recently?
Oh. So my wife was always like, you don't drink every day you go into the cellar door, do you? And I'm like, no. Anyhow.
She's not listening.
Hopefully she's not listening, right. Well, we've been actually, it's been great because, you know, we released our first single barrel one cask, our one cask series bourbon, you know, just after, you know, you guys had tried it about 6 weeks ago, and everything sold out in less than 24 hours. The crazy thing was we had a little pre-launch party here and people started texting their friends and all that sort of thing. I got here at 9 a.m. the next morning. It was a Friday. It was 20 degrees or 19 degrees outside. The line out the front went all the way down to the coffee shop, which is nearly a full block.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, hang on a second. How does it? Did they get did they think you were Buffalo Trace? And
they've opened a pop-up shop in
right,
Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, and we were just more friendly. And so they stayed for some reason.
Yes, you are.
But then it sold out literally by lunchtime.
That's incredible.
And so we were sort of flapping around a little bit, and I didn't even have any to drink. And then we broke out our rye, and I've been drinking the Cask 2, which I think is my favourite of the 7-year rye, the one cask rye. And then we've got our next 10 barrels ready to release in the next few weeks of bourbon, and so we've been really sitting down and working through those in the last week or so. But funnily enough, you guys will be able to pick the first barrel before we even pick our barrel.
I was going to bring
so
that
many
up.
firsts.
I was going to bring that up because I am very surprised by that statement. Like, my inclination would have been that you guys would have done it so quickly. You would have jumped on that opportunity so quickly. So I guess my question is, what are you waiting on, man?
Well, yeah, we just, it's funny you ask because, you know, we had the 7-year rye come out and we made no fanfare about that at all because we didn't want to run out of product.
Yeah,
again.
sure.
So what you see in the cellar door now is what we have left of that. And we've got enough to get us through, which is great. And then we knew we had our 10-year coming down the pike and we had to get that all approved and bottled and everything. So that's good. But we didn't want to rush the bourbon, and we wanted to make sure it was what we wanted. And, you know, we had, I forget how many barrels we got sitting up, but, you know, we pulled the first 10, but we haven't chosen the first. We'll probably bottle 3 or 4 barrels to start, and it'll be one of these 5. But you guys are getting first dibs at it.
I love you, Greg.
Did you know that?
I mean, I had not like seen any. I didn't know how first it was.
It's first.
It's not. Yeah, it's not just first.
You know, I'm like, I've not seen anybody picking one or anything like that. So I was like, maybe the first like barrel pick or something like that. So like
this isn't out. It's not even bottled yet.
Yeah,
it'll be bottled next week.
I mean, what's really cool for us about that as well is that you are kind of giving us the opportunity to share with the people that are the closest with the content that we create and the closest to us, just as far as like people who believe in what we do. And we get to kind of build that bridge between the two parties.
Yeah.
And, you know, allow them the chance to come in and see what it is that we have been talking about for the first quarter of this year that we've just been such big fans of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, it's so invigorating for me to not only like have that opportunity, but also to have that opportunity with somebody who has a clear view of where they want to go with the company, with their you know what I
If
mean?
that
Like,
means a plan,
well,
that's probably not accurate.
all right. I will say though, I feel confident in saying something to the effect of, I don't think you guys are going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, bad.
As far as like like going away.
Phew.
No, yeah, you guys are just going to be stuck
for the
here.
clarification
Yeah.
there,
Sorry, I realized this.
He does
when you
that a
gave
lot.
me
He
that
does that a lot.
when you gave me that look, I was like, oh, now I hear it.
Look, we've been very fortunate, and you know, we've been lucky, and you know, that rye came out way better than I was hoping it would. All of our 4.5 year stuff is, I wish I had a scientific answer or a better answer, but it's just turned out way better than I expect.
Yeah. That's all you can ask for. Sometimes luck is better than skill.
Right. Well, in case in point with our 10 year, you know, we had the 10 barrels. We were going to do it as a single barrel, which is what we like to do here. And, you know, 8 of the barrels were really good. Or probably 7 were really good. 2 were good enough to go single barrel. And 1 was just so hot it burned your face off. And they were all down next to each other, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it might have been 2 that were too hot. But anyhow, so we're like, so we're playing around with it all, and we're cutting it, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. Anyhow, then we're up at the distillery, and we just do equal bits of everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we've got a consulting distiller at the minute, and she's like, this won't work. This is going to be a train wreck, right? The equal amounts. Anyhow, she does it, and she drinks it, and she's like, this is amazing.
You were like, hold my Vegemite.
I was, and I'm like, are you just like bullshitting me, or is it really actually good?
Right.
She's gone, try it. It's fantastic. And she said she'd never seen that happen before, ever. So,
I mean,
and we
just
mixed
first.
them. They're just 10 whole barrels, all got dumped, and that's what it is.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were really I was really pleased. I mean, you guys were going to get the 2 hot barrels to pick from. Otherwise, that would have been what we did with them.
Hey, that is exciting. I keep like wanting to jump ahead of myself, but we do have to go through our protocol of the episode.
I know we're getting
you
too
know.
excited right now.
What have you been
I just
drinking?
keep looking at those samples. What have I been drinking? I mean, you're going to make me follow Greg after that. I made a nice bourbon and cherry Coke Zero the other day.
That's fine. What kind of bourbon?
I had some Old Pogue. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Old Pogue. Put a little spicy cherry bitters in it, and I made a great cherry Coke and bourbon.
What's the Old Pogue like? I haven't had that yet.
It's I always get a lot of cherry on it. It's a very sweet. It's like 90 proof, I think.
Okay.
It's just an easy thing to sip on. It's kind of pricey, I think. That bottle was actually given to me by our friend Todd Cooper. But yeah, it's a lot of cherry. It's a very sweet vanilla cherry bourbon. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've had. Had some beer. Nothing special.
I don't know, man. I just can't stop thinking about these samples.
I know, right?
I did get another bottle. You remember that Knob Creek pick that I just found at Liquor Barn?
Yeah.
From 2020.
Oh, you found another one?
I found another one. There's still some at that Liquor Barn too.
2020.
It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They picked it like the week before everything shut down.
Is that the 12-year?
No, this was just a single barrel from from Liquor Barn,
Which is great.
But it's
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite barrels.
He has a lot of Knob Creek. Likes the knob.
A lot of knob.
I'm just gonna go over here.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway,
as Greg scoots out of the picture.
So I guess before we get too far into this, I have to ask you, what can't we say about these barrels?
Nothing really.
So we can talk about where they were made?
No.
There we go. So
I can tell you that they're made at a small craft distillery here in Kentucky.
That's all we need to know.
there we go.
So
I'm fine with that.
they're not from a big house. Nothing wrong with the big houses, but that's just not where these are from.
Right.
Were you instrumental in, like, were you able to just kind of go in and pick which barrels you wanted? Were you given the option of barrels, or did you kind of work on this from the ground up?
No, we did. We've had these for a number of years now. Like, we bought them early. And that was why when I say we're surprised with how good they turned out, we didn't really know. We were almost tasting White Dog.
Yeah.
Right? So
You got to have good White Dog, though.
you do have
If
to
the
have
White
good
Dog's
White
not good, you can't polish a turd.
It's true. And, so we did that, and, I didn't know, shit from shinola when I was doing this. Still don't, frankly. But the thing is, it's they just worked.
Yeah.
And, when I say they sat next to each other on our rack, they did. They were all next to each other. And they've been sitting like that for 4 years. And, yeah, it's just how they came out.
Nice. Shall we start?
I'd say we start. We can start trying them. We can talk a little bit about everything as we go. And,
Yeah, I'd say that's a good idea. We sip and chat.
11A.
All right.
11A.
So these guys, they're all same, laid down at the same time, all that sort of thing. Right when these guys, as they've gone into the little sample bottles, are were 4.5 years, maybe just over that.
Okay.
They're our very first releases we did was 75, 21, 4. These guys, when we got them, we wanted to see, exactly where our sweet spot was going to be.
Right.
Thank you. So these guys are 71. 70, 21, 9. So, we just added a bit more barley, dropped down the corn just a touch.
Yeah.
So, this is the first of the 5 barrels.
Oh, that nose.
This smells like, if you have you been to Three Boys?
No,
Or I
I've
guess
heard you
what
talk
is-
about it.
So, I mean, they're not called that now. They're called
Whiskey Thief.
Whiskey Thief. Thank you. This smells like their distillery smells. It's out on a farm. It's an operational farm as well, but they're making whiskey on it, and it's got that kind of effervescence of, you can smell the whiskey kind of lingering in the air.
It smells like peaches and cream spiked with whiskey.
Yeah. Sorry, I just coughed right in your
No, it
face,
smells like it wouldn't be the first time you did that. Oh yeah, it's like peaches and cream, and you're like there's like a bourbon with you. Oh, that finish.
Ooh.
I know the finish is usually the last thing you get, but like a lot of times I base everything that I really like on the finish, because it's the last thing I get, but it's the thing that lasts the longest to me.
Mm.
And yeah, that finish is like, it's kind of savory, but there's a sweetness.
There's
to
a
it.
sweetness, yeah.
I think it's like a coffee sweetness. And maybe it's the coffee that's
Like a
sitting next to
cocoa?
it. No, more like coffee beans.
Okay.
Like a lighter roasted coffee
Yeah.
bean, where it's not gotten so much of the bitterness in it.
Yeah, it doesn't have any coffee bitterness.
No, there's no bitters at all.
It has. I actually get a bit of that cocoa kind of,
Yeah.
maybe like a mocha.
It is like, yeah, it's a very dark It's a dark sweet, and not necessarily like a dark chocolate, but yeah, like a mocha. And that finish is just great. That finish just lasts, and you get the dark mocha, and then it kind of brings back that peaches and cream on the nose that you got.
That's a strong start.
And these are all around 120 to 123 proof.
Okay. What were do we know the ages, did we say?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
And that's so good because it doesn't taste like it's 4.5.
I know.
And there's nothing wrong with 4.5-year-old bourbon.
Well, no,
this
but
just tastes above that.
Yeah.
Well, you asked before, what was the delay in bringing stuff out. Originally, we were going to leave our first batch up until it was 5 years. But we were trying all the time. And then I had a very good friend of mine that's, one of the sort of bourbon industry godfathers kind of deal. And I asked him to try it. And he's like, Greg, just get that out of the barrel and put it in a bottle. And when he said that, I was like, I can do that. So that's how we have 4.5 year, not 5 year.
Do you want to take private bets on who it is?
Yeah. Yes. I asked Eric.
It's got to be Jim Rutledge.
I ain't taking no bet. No.
What, are you scared to lose?
No,
Scary
I know
Perry's here.
better. Scary Perry, get out of here. So before we get on to the next one, like, I know you've probably said it a million times talking to people, but like, what's the short version of the guy from Australia comes and starts doing Kentucky bourbon?
Very short version. I was in the military for a couple of decades. The Australian Royal Australian Navy for about 11 years. And then I was recruited over in 2002 after 2003 after we'd, no, is that right? I can't remember. Too many knocks on the head. I was recruited over into the US Navy and served there for 10 years, 10 years, I guess, and retired as the executive officer down at Expeditionary Combat Command, reservist at that point. Deployed a bunch, got banged on the head and lots of other nasty things. And, so it was one of those things where it was, had to get out of the big city and, had PTSD and traumatic brain injury and all that sort of stuff. So my wife left her, she was a diplomat with the U.S. State Department. She left that career because she decided she wanted to be a nurse and help veterans, because I have a lot of friends that are missing arms, legs, eyes, all that sort of stuff. And so she went and did that, which was amazing, as a second career. And opportunity popped up here for her at UK. So we came and, and I was doing a little bit of work down here as well, and I loved Kentucky. But we didn't know a single person here in Lexington. And but then we brought the dogs down for a couple of weeks, and the dogs liked it too. So we're like, well, heck, let's move.
Yeah, that's a good sign right there.
What are we doing?
They've got great dog parks here.
They
like
really
in Lexington.
do.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Jacobson Park is...
Yeah, that we lived right there, right by there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and when we first moved here, and it had like a horse paddocks for dogs. It was fabulous. So
really cool.
That's really why we moved here, because the dog liked it.
Nobody talks enough about our dog parks. And
no, they're fantastic. Anyhow, then one day we were just sitting around, and it was like, well, let's go for a drive. And so we went into Midway, Versailles, drove, which should be pronounced Versailles, but I digress.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that.
And we're driving around, and then we thought, we were going to go up to Danville and or Bardstown, I can't remember. And we're like, let's stop in this place, Lawrenceburg, for lunch. It was a Sunday, so of course nothing was open. Yeah. So instead of doing anything else, we got out Zillow, went and got a sandwich, and drove around looking at farms. And we drove up on this farm, and it's coincidentally half a mile from Four Roses here in Lawrenceburg. And we drove up on this farm, and I'm like, I wasn't influenced at all by the fact it was next door to Four Roses.
Of course not.
See, my wife doesn't.
She's like, this house isn't very good. Don't worry about it. It's got a great view.
It's got great bones.
Look at the Spanish architecture over those hills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was like. And so it was like, well, if we can, and the farm is just beautiful, and we were like, well, if we can buy it, If we can afford to buy it, we're going to buy it and move. We're going to become farmers.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that'd be a good retirement job. I can be a farmer. Cutting very shortly to it, I'm like the worst farmer ever. Like ever.
What's the opposite of a green thumb?
Oh my God, I'm scared of cows. I can't, horses like freak me out. I can't grow anything. I can't ride the tractor properly. So it was like, okay, now what do I do? So make bourbon.
Yeah.
And that's how we fell into it. And what's been amazing, and I've said this to many people, is how extraordinarily helpful everyone in the bourbon industry is, from someone like Brent Elliott at Four Roses to the big guys just down the road here at Wild Turkey, to the Gina that runs the logistics and all the warehousing for Woodford.
Yeah.
Everyone has, and then down into the Whiskey Thief guys and everyone.
Oh yeah.
Have just been so generous with their time and advice and help. It's just been wonderful, and that I couldn't have done it without that, because I had no clue what I was doing.
I think that's something that, while we tend to kind of talk about it in slightly ambiguous terms, it is good to kind of hear it from just a first person account, that so much of the bourbon industry isn't about competition. There's no one way to make bourbon. There's no one way to produce a flavor palette. And I think that's what we see so often being appreciated, is that there is room for, and this is kind of counterintuitive to something I was talking about this past week, just about like the oversaturation of the bourbon market. Because I mean, there are so many brands and so many bottles that are out there.
There are
right now, but that doesn't mean that there isn't the opportunity for people to go in and just find something that they like, and go through that trial and error of it all.
And you know what, Perry? I think that's one of the reasons it's becoming more. Just looking at it from the outside, right? So we've been doing this officially for about a year,
right?
Which is no time at all. But what's really hit me is, if people try your stuff or try something new or whatever, they'll be like, oh, you know what, that's pretty good. I'll try that instead of getting my regular Maker's Mark or my regular Knob Creek or whatever, which is good.
Yeah.
But if they try it and they like it or want to give it a go, they will. And they're willing to. And I think it's really hit me is I now understand why all these big companies and all the craft distillers too have tasting rooms.
Yeah.
Because they want people to put it in their mouth and try it. And, people will come in here and never heard of us before. We're on the Bourbon Trail, where we are bookended by Four Roses and Wild Turkey. People just walk in and, like you did, and came in and just try the stuff. And they're like, never heard of you. Well, of course you haven't, because, we don't have a billboard.
Yeah.
But they'll buy it. But they wouldn't have bought it if it was just sitting on the shelf at Liquor Barn.
Exactly.
In a million years.
Yeah, it's not, and it's nice to, like, you're here, you're talking to them like this is your thing, and like people don't get to like just walk into Four Roses and there's Brent sitting there like, what do you think of my product here? You don't see him. You don't see.
I bet Brent would love to do that all day.
Yeah,
I'm sure he would.
He would.
Yeah.
It's like when you go and see Mr. Russell down here.
Yeah.
When he perches up in the gift shop there.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He's always eating next door at the restaurant. I won't say the name in case everyone tries to mob him down there. But he's there all the time.
Yeah.
And he's the nice. And if you go and talk to him, if someone recognizes him, he's the nicest man.
Do you want to run next door and see if he's there, just so we can?
Hey.
You can look out and see if his car's there.
Jimmy, you want to do a podcast?
He busts in. He's on a scooter and he busts through the door. It's like the
Right.
Kool-Aid man. He's like, oh yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though.
Riding Dirty's playing in the background.
So I'm sorry, that was a long version of all that.
No, it's okay, man.
You may pour up the next one while we're getting ready.
I say we go for it.
We named this one especially 12A.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got it.
Put some respect on the name.
12A, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we put a lot of thought into our barrels.
I can see that. Yeah.
And we really try and obfuscate where it's from, so you could never find it if you broke into the barrel house. The 12A written on the side would give it away probably, but nonetheless.
If you know the people.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yes. So, and I'm not making this up. Thank you. Apart from trying this out of the bottle, when we bought these back in yesterday, I sent you that picture.
Yeah.
I hadn't tried it out of the bottle before.
Really?
Ever. So we'd always just taken it out of the cask. And so I'm really sitting here trying these with you for the first time.
That is a complete 180 from the first video.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Whoa.
That's like smelling a bag of Skittles. Like I smell like Greg. You've probably heard of this before, and I mentioned it over and over on the podcast. But I smell and taste a lot of times in colors. Like I would just like smell, or I'll taste something, I'll instantly see like a purple or like a brown or something like that.
Yep.
I smelled that and I saw like a bag of Skittles. Like it was like there's red, yellow, purple. Like
it's complex.
There's so many colors going on. Like I can't even describe hardly what the smell is, but it's Skittles. It's like this candy. It's like candy and biscuits. I don't know. Maybe a biscuit with a bunch of different jelly on it or something like that?
I mean, you mean like an American biscuit, right?
Oh,
Right.
I got to specify for
I had to make sure.
Not a cookie.
Not a cookie.
Mama's homemade biscuits with a bunch of jelly.
See, to me, that is different even when I had a tiny bit of it yesterday out of the sample bottle for the first time. It's different already.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm sorry I'm being quiet. I'm like trying to contemplate what's happening here because it's so layered and it's got so much interesting complexity to it, because like it starts out with this kind of bready, buttery, savory note, and it very quickly takes a turn into like nougat. And then it just kind of stays with nougat until like a caramel and a little bit of like red berries
It's a
pop up.
Snickers bar with like some kind of extra like strawberry.
If you made like a big Snickers cake
Oh, I love
and
Snickers cakes.
you used like
some kind of drizzle on top of it.
Yeah.
That was like,
Yeah.
Ooh. And the thing is, like,
wildly good.
so I love when like a bourbon is, you read the label and it says 120 plus proof and it punches you in the face. I love that. But I also love when you see that and then you're like, oh my God, like this, how is this 100? And like, to me, this is a soothing, fun, like desserty bourbon that you're like, there's no way this is 120. I mean, I
agree.
Yeah, it's just where, I don't need that punch on this. Like, I don't even need to know that it's like 100. Like, it's just, that's just like the icing on the cake. That's just like, it's 120 plus proof.
Can I say something? I was a little bit skeptical of including it in today, but I think that the way to go before you do a barrel pick is to have a Vegemite cracker.
Oh boy.
Because
I
it
think
has
so
like
too.
it has like
It opened up like your palate.
your palate. There's something about the saltiness of it that it's just made me feel like I can really just taste right now.
I
We
mean,
might start doing that at Celador.
I think you should.
man, that is good. That is exactly what you said, Perry.
For the appetizer, we have
It's
Vegemite cracker.
and some bourbon. Yeah,
Notice the interplay between the two. Crap, what am I doing?
Perry
No,
is.
I don't.
I'm
Perry's
having a
going
good
up.
day. I haven't taken my medicine yet today, okay?
Perry's on one.
I remember driving in here. I haven't either, so this could go really downhill quick.
I love it because I love the chaos, and so I'm just like, let's go, baby. Yeah, it's a Snickers. It's a cake. It's a Snickers cake with like some kind of like strawberry cherry drizzle on top of it. Like you get the nougat, you get the savory, you get the chocolate, and then there's this bright spot on it.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I kind of get the texture of a spongy cake, as well. Like it feels
Yep.
like a very visceral
I feel it in the
experience.
front, like of my mouth here,
Yeah.
like down here, like where you put a dip. That's kind of where I get
I've never dipped before, so I don't have that point of reference, but
I
Not
know
that I
what
didn't
you're
encourage
saying.
it.
I put beef jerky there.
Oh, well, yeah, same thing.
One of my best friend's brother, when we were like,
Such a-
when we were like 13, he gave us some dip, and I thought I was gonna puke my brains out.
like that scene in The Sandlot.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I was on like a level, and I was like 13 years old. I was like, I'm gonna die.
Tell me, when I'm asking these questions, is because this is the first time I'm really sitting down and
Yeah, of
drinking
course,
this from the
of
bottle.
course.
Like I've taken it out of the barrel a bunch, but
Right,
not
right,
like
right.
this. It almost strikes me that the nose doesn't really represent the palate on this one.
It is.
I have to agree.
Yeah, there are plenty of stuff that I've had that I love that is like it's like nose to palate, it's the same, and then I like when things are different too because you get two experiences. You get a Skittles nose, and then all of a sudden you're eating a Snickers cake.
Yeah, I think that I don't think that it's a detriment to the
No,
product
I like it
by
when
any
it's like
means.
that.
I
but-
like, yeah.
But I can understand like the concern over it.
Well, there's
I
been
guess.
plenty of stuff we've had that we're like, oh, this smells great, and then we taste it and we're like,
It's like this is hot garbage.
yeah. But when you get a good nose that's different than the palate, and the palate is good too, then it's like you've got 2 for 1.
We had a couple of
Are you
casts
saying-
like that in the first lot.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if I should just do that too.
I'm just putting them here. I was like, if we get in, like,
Oh, we got
5
plenty. So when
Yeah.
you want to do the
Yeah,
re-go
I was
round.
just
Fair enough.
cleaning my glass. I'll go ahead and pour up 3, but I have a question for Greg.
Yep.
Do I know what this question is? I bet you I do.
12B.
12B. Do you know? I don't know. If you know.
Is it about what he likes to snack on when he's
Nope.
drinking bourbon?
No, I am taking this interview serious,
I'm proud of you.
and I've done some research and
Oh.
homework, and I want to ask
Ooh.
Greg
Okay.
a question because I followed along with this. Okay,
This is hot ones all of a sudden.
right.
Yeah,
So I'm
jeez.
not going to name anything, because it's kind of a general question. But I saw how you handled some internet criticism recently.
Mm.
Because I'm not going to say who did it. There was a post talking. I think it might have been about the 100% rye.
It was, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, that's
somebody was like, "Oh, don't you can't trust that label because you're transparent. You said it's from Canada, right?
Right. Hmm. Alberta, yeah.
Alberta." And they tried to call you out and say, "Well, Canada doesn't have the same rules as us and stuff like that." And I saw that you handled it very well. I'm not going to go into that because it was whatever. But how do you handle criticism like that, especially when I know you knew this person? I saw the interaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as someone who, you've got a business, you've got this starting up, and there's people you're sourcing, and let me just say, like, I understand that it's, to be a distiller is a big thing, but I don't look at somebody that just sources and be like, well, they like, you have to have a good palate. You have to know what you're doing. You're running a business. So it's just, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like it's who runs the business. And how do you handle that criticism when somebody's like saying, oh, you're just sourcing a product, or, oh, like we don't even know where this comes from and stuff, because you know where it comes from.
Right.
And you're putting it in a bottle, and, what people are tasting is what you decided needs to be put out there.
Right.
So I guess I'm just saying, like, what's it like having to deal with that kind of criticism?
Yeah,
and
so
stuff?
that's a really good question, Eric. I mean, if you ask my wife, my family, anyone, they say I handle criticism extraordinarily badly. Like, I don't react to criticism at any level, whether it's how I stack the dishwasher, whether it's how I can't drive a tractor, how I don't care when I'm spelling, whatever. So not well. Thank you. But
cow. C-A-W.
right, right, and
Dang it.
who cares? Everyone knows what I meant. But in this instance, this was an industry guy that I knew, and he was like, "Whoa, you can't trust anything that comes from Canada because it's all crap," and blah blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hang on a second," and I was going to let it ride, and then I thought, "No, I'm not." And so I just was as respectful as I could be, and I said, "Give me a break here. We're a small business. We're starting up. We know exactly where it came from. we picked it.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You've never tried it. You have no idea of where it came from, who made it, anything. I do. And it's bloody good.
Yeah.
So, and then I said, if you're going to, we want to take the higher ground and sort of lift all boats. And if you want to shit on another small distillery, well, that's up to you.
Yeah.
And we just left it at that. So if it comes from the industry, I would always sort of just say what's what.
Yeah.
If it's from a punter, generally you nod and just say, yes, you're right.
Right.
It's just easier.
But like I said, I thought you handled it well because it wasn't like you went for like this, like somebody wrote you a response and you had to put that on there. Like I could tell that you were like, that was a legit, passionate reply. But it didn't go overboard, and you weren't just like, "Oh, this guy's just saying whatever." Now
I said that in the shop, but not on the. But the amazing thing with that was that I think that got more likes and responses than anything I've ever posted.
Yeah,
which was extraordinary to me. Like I did it, and that was it.
Yeah,
and everyone's liking it, and they're giving it thumbs up, and they're doing this, which is great. And we're not going to have our own product out that comes out of our still and for another 4 years.
Right.
We're building the distillery right now down on 127. We've got an 800-gallon hybrid still, which it's beautiful. And I don't know how to work it, but someone does.
Yeah.
And we're building a really big visitor center. Well, we're repurposing a building. It's on a lake.
Uh-huh.
We're right way between Four Roses, Wild Turkey, and Buffalo Trace, right on 127 between Lawrenceburg and Frankfurt.
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity. And, we're going to have our distillery and our bottling line in this building, and next door to it is going to be our visitor center. And I was actually out there this morning to take one of our contractors through, and the guy with the key didn't turn up. So it was pouring with rain. We're trying to do measurements, and the guy with the key doesn't turn up and doesn't pick up his phone.
You had one job.
One job.
The key.
Come on, key man.
One job.
The key master.
Key man, if you're listening to this.
Oh, he's called me like 18 times since we've been sitting here.
He's like, shit, Greg, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, he's going to feel the wrath of Greg
Vengeance
this afternoon. Scary Greg.
Greg.
I'll put on my work face.
I jumped the gun a little bit here. I want to ask you about that hybrid still in a second as well, because I'm very curious about it. I jumped the gun a little bit on this one. I'm getting the feeling this might be one of the in-your-face, slap-you-hot barrels.
When I tried this yesterday for the first time out of the bottle, I got the tobacco out of it, but now that I don't know.
This smells like these are all bourbons, right?
Mm-hmm.
This borders a rye.
That's what I was thinking too.
Emily, that is our lead bourbon steward here in Runsville, our front of house. She's like, shout out to Emily. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Emily! Her comment was, "This tastes like a rye," because that's how she says rye.
It smells like a rye.
You would have fooled me.
Yeah, it smells like a toasted rye. Like
it does smell like.
It smells like rye with like marshmallow and like graham cracker. Tastes like a rye. It's a little hot.
It's a little hot. Like it's very ethanol forward.
Yeah.
But the rye spice is present. I think this might be the first one where I can kind of say we can eliminate it. Sorry, Greg. He's sitting right here, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna kick us out of the shop.
This is definitely going to be. This is going to be a good barrel.
It's entirely different.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I swear,
absolutely.
it's rye on the nose. It's rye on the palate to me. Like I would think this was a rye,
and it's exactly the same, unless I slipped a barrel in when we bought it 4 years ago.
I am still burping out Vegemite,
but it's even got that. It's got that sort of burn your nostrils sort of thing going on, which I actually don't mind when I'm drinking a rye.
Yeah,
no, I don't either. But as far as like a bourbon goes, I think we might be. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I definitely like the first two more than this one. there's just weirdness of this being a bourbon, and I'm swear to God, I'm tasting a toasted rye product that just like, there's something in my head that's like, that's amazing. But I would probably choose one or two over.
Yeah,
this
I would
one.
agree with that. The funny thing is though, like yesterday when Emily and I were just trying these, we had like, because we got them and we just tried a tiny bit. When I sent that photo to you last night, this was the one we liked the most.
Really?
Yeah, last night we only had to dribble and
Sure.
but it was this was the one I had the 3 ticks next to.
Now I will say, going back to this after a couple of sips, it does start to get kind of like caramel vanilla creamy, especially on the front end of the palate. But it's
kind of marshmallowy.
Yeah. Kind of like marshmallow fluff.
Yep.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I still like it.
I do too. I just think I like.
And that's the thing, right? Everything's relative.
Yeah, exactly. If we had done this tomorrow, could have been completely different.
But also, if you had have tasted that against something that was different, you would have gone, "Oh, I love that one."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what we do here, and everyone's like, "Oh, why have you put out 4 bourbons to try that are all exactly the same?"
Yeah.
And this is the exact reason we do it.
And I don't want that.
Right. But we
It's
put
boring.
But they're the same mash bill, they're the same batch, same everything. And people don't understand when they first come in, they're like, well, can't we try this one and this one instead? And our point is these barrels sat next to each other in the rack and they're exactly the same age, the same everything.
Yeah.
But they are distinctly different. And what it does for people that are visiting and trying that sort of thing for the first time, they really get it. They're like, damn, this can't be the same. You're like, I can tell you it is the same.
Guarantee it.
Well, that's a good example was when I came in the first time and I picked up our samples and I did the tasting and there was that guy, I think he was a local guy or he was visiting or something. And like, he was like, I was tasting through everything and I was like, oh my gosh, like this one is this one, this. And he was kind of like, I've never really thought about like how they're different and stuff like that. And so then he like kind of took his time and he was like, you know what? Like these are, and like it kind of opened, like you could see like something open up to him. He was like, wow, like I was just enjoying it, and like they all tasted kind of the same. And now when I've actually thought about it, like or took my time with them, like no, they are different. But and he was just some guy, just random dude there.
And that's what we love. It's just giving them that experience of, and that's why right now we have 3 ryes out.
Yeah.
And they're all the 7-year-old rye, but they're all, as you know, they're really different.
Yeah.
Totally. And some people like that one, some people like that one, and some people like that one.
So I want to ask you this too, because I think what we've kind of been darting around here is that, and I mean, you have explicitly said it too, that you don't have a big billboard.
No.
Right? You don't have a mass marketing campaign in the way that some even slightly larger companies do. So I'm curious from that standpoint, aside from being a small business, aside from being largely unknown and people not really having much of a chance to try your product, what has been kind of the biggest hurdle that you all have had to overcome in finding success with Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company? Because, I mean, even the name sounds like something where you can kind of be like, oh, well, I know them. They've been around forever. And then you're like, oh, no, they've been around for about a year.
Right. It's interesting. We're the first distillery to ever carry the Lawrenceburg name. Despite this road where we're right on Main Street here, all the bourbon barons lived up the street just here.
Yeah.
You know, Rippy and all those guys all literally lived up here.
Did you know that? The Rippy house is...
but there's a whole bunch.
Still
Searcy lived up here, and all these guys all lived on this road, like not half a mile from here. So there's been all these amazing distilleries and in Lawrenceburg, and not one of them's ever carried the name.
Yeah.
So when we found that out, we were like, well, that's much better than the stupid name I came up with before. So that's how we came to it.
We won't put you on the spot. You can save that for another venture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to write a book about all the stupid names we came up with.
This nose might be the one that I get everything and then I get the punch too.
I guess we didn't really get a full answer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
What was the answer? What was the question?
The biggest hurdle that you all have had to overcome.
Look, there's a lot. but from a perspective of getting the name out there, it's, Emily, we have a very significant social media department, which is Emily.
She was making TikTok when I came in.
Oh yeah. She's just on that old thing all the time. That's been super helpful, but I think the single thing hurdle-wise is, we talked a minute ago about people trying the product, right? And we've got 1 million visitors or 800,000 visitors a year go between Four Roses and Buffalo Trace. But they're not stopping on Main Street in Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
So just getting the name out there and getting folks to want to visit. We just set up an online booking, so we've just started taking online bookings, and that's made a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have like a couple of bookings a day that are coming in, which is a huge change. But then the folks up in the gift shop at Wild Turkey at Four Roses have been sending people down here. Like they've visited there, and then
That's
they say,
so cool.
See,
"Oh man,
like
it happens
said,
all."
What's the raise the tides, the boats that
Yeah.
sail together, raise
Like,
The rising tide raises all ships.
It happens
I got that
regularly,
one.
like and from Wild Turkey, like regularly. People come in. Oh, the guys up there said, because what happens is the big guys, Wild Turkey, Buffalo Trace, etc., Four Roses, close at 4:00. We stay open until 6:30.
Yeah.
So
baby.
no one's finished having drinks at
No.
4:00. So they just go, well, go down to see these guys. And we've got the bar here as well, so we can make you a cocktail if that's what you want.
Yeah.
You can do the full tasting, you can do all that, and you can buy the stuff to leave. So it's been great for us. And again, that's the whole thing about, these big guys are helping us do this.
Right.
And, in another few months, I don't know when they're opening, but Old Commonwealth is going to open on the Old Crow site, which is 10 minutes from here.
Whoa.
And that's going to be a small craft distillery as well. So all of a sudden you'll have those three big guys. You'll have Whiskey Thief, Lawrenceburg Bourbon, and Old Commonwealth all within like 5 miles.
So Old Commonwealth is going to be sharing space with Glens Creek then?
No, I'm sorry, I said Crow. No, at the old, what's it called?
I genuinely don't know.
It was what? Oh my gosh! Now I'm having a brain fart. I'll think of it in a
That's
sec.
okay.
But it was where Pappy stored all their product until they sold the brand to Buffalo Trace. It's literally 10 minutes from here, straight down that road. And but they're spending a lot of money and they're building that out, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's going to be another craft distillery with an actual still like we're going to do, and we'll be punching out a couple of barrels a day with our new stuff, and they'll be doing about the same. And all of a sudden, you've got 3 craft distillers, of different sizes, and then you've got the 2 big ones, and they're literally within 5 miles.
Right. And it makes sense because, I mean, you'd have to be a psychopath to like come to Lawrenceburg and go to one place and just leave. You know what I mean? Like nobody is doing that. Nobody, you come to one place, you're going to be like, well.
So you're saying we have to go to Wild Turkey after this?
No, I'm saying we live
Jimmy
here.
might be there.
You might be next door.
We live here.
Let's go knock on the wall.
But if you're making you're planning your day.
Yeah.
And you're going to hit as many places as you can because you're making a day of it. And it makes all the sense to just work together. Like why, somebody, we won't say who it was, shitting on somebody's product or whatever it was.
Right.
But like they come here.
It was Fred Minnick.
Damn you, Fred.
The ascot was on too tight. He was a keyboard warrior, baby.
That would be bad if it was.
Yeah, right.
But
It was not Fred. I will definitively say it was
Fred,
not Fred.
we love you.
But yeah, it's like you stop here, they're going to go somewhere else. Maybe they'll go somewhere and come back, and then they stop here again. Like it just makes all the sense. And I love hearing the camaraderie and the community and stuff.
Well,
like
we
that.
got a couple of little wineries that are literally down the street. And we send people to them every day, and they send people to us every day, and it's part of the not everyone wants to drink bourbon, funnily enough, which escapes me, but
Psychopaths.
whatever. But we send people down there a lot, and they do the same, and it's great. And you can literally, like last night, we were dead all day, and then come 4:30, we had like 6 groups come in.
Yeah.
And they all hung around till we kicked them out. I'm like, I got to go home. I got to go and let the dogs out, or they're peeing everywhere. So, but it was fantastic. Yeah. And they'd been one of the two, and then they'd gone out to Bardstown or something.
Right.
And then they'd come back and finish their
Yeah,
day here
exactly.
because they knew we were
Full
open
day.
till 6:30.
Everybody wants to come and they want to get the full experience and they want to get as many places as you can. And Lawrenceburg has so many places you can do that. And you guys, I don't know, I think you're doing it right. So
Yeah, and it's been great. And, we've had really good support from, the city and everything. And, but that's been the biggest challenge is just getting in front of people. But we're learning how to do it more gradually. We've got a distributor now that will be taking our 10x10 and our new bourbon to market.
Nice.
Which will be good.
Good for you guys.
I wish I could tell you we're going into we've put our bourbon into one of the leading hotels in Kentucky, groups in Kentucky. I can't tell you who it is yet because, but we're super. When I tell you offline, you'll be like, what?
It's the Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah. yeah.
Super 8, baby.
Holiday Inn Express,
Red
Louisville.
Red Roof Inn.
Yeah. Hey, but they've got a great selection.
The Red Roof?
Yeah.
I haven't been to a Red Roof in so many years.
Oh, yeah. They've got a great bourbon selection.
I love the nose on this.
I love the palate on this.
I haven't even tasted it yet.
Oh my gosh. This one is so creamy.
You can't have this one. I've already. We've already
Here's where the
labeled
power comes into play.
Yeah.
You're like, actually,
Fine.
actually, you're going to pick the second best of the group here.
No,
Hey, if that's the case, that's totally fine. I get it.
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh.
can have the pick of the litter.
This one, yeah,
This is crazy good.
Oh, yeah, it is. I hate to say it.
If ever there were such a thing as like a chocolate creamsicle, which I guess is just like, and it's just ice cream with a chocolate
It's a hot fudge
shell
sundae.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is the. You ever have a dipped cone
Oh, yeah.
from Dairy Queen? They take that soft serve and then they dip it, and it kind of has that hard shell. And then you get towards the end of it, and it's kind of started melting together. Yeah, it's like a swirl, not like a swirled vanilla and chocolate ice cream, but like a vanilla that's got like some really like strong chocolate in it.
I get some like salted caramel on it too.
I do too. Mhm.
There is definitely a salty savoriness to it.
It's a banana
that,
split.
Dude,
It is. There's a fruity note on there.
there definitely is.
I think the fruity like banana is on the nose, and then it's a banana
Do
split.
you think it's banana? So, yeah, we say banana.
Banana.
Yeah, banana split.
Let's
Doesn't
call the
quite
whole
sound
thing
the
off.
same.
Yeah. I think the fruitiness on the nose is a banana note,
You know what? I think you're right.
and then you get
But I'm very open to suggestion.
So that you said Sydney earlier. Does that were you born in Sydney?
No, Perth.
That was my second guess. I'm sorry. Because I was
Well,
just
there's only
listening-
5 cities.
Well, that's true. But so I was listening to, I think it was the Weekly Planet. I think they just did. Anyway, it's a nerd podcast out of Melbourne. And they were talking, I think within the past couple of weeks, about the difference in how like Melburnians say, like they still kind of say banana.
Banana. Yeah, they
But
probably
like a
do.
little bit further north and like even, I mean, they might actually be the only part of Australia that
Yeah.
give it that American banana.
Yeah, they yes. I
The
think they
American banana, everybody.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what this is.
If you go to Queensland, they say banana.
that sounds like
That's
a Muppet.
Crocodile Dundee.
Banana. Now you know I'm going to be humming that all day.
Yep. Yes, I do.
Oh
yes, I
man,
do.
that may have that. I think that rose to the top.
This one is so unbelievably good, man.
It's
Do you
a
get any
banana
vanilla
split.
in that?
Yes.
On the palate?
Yeah.
I will get. That's when I get that vanilla ice
Yeah.
cream starting to mix with like
Mm.
the chocolate and the caramel. and
There's
stuff like
okay.
that.
There's some Ben and Jerry's flavor that I can't pinpoint, but it has like a vanilla
salty balls.
That's the coffee we had.
Yeah, that's the coffee we were.
No, that was creamy balls.
creamy.
Creamy
balls.
balls, that's
That's
right.
the one I was thinking of.
Never
It
mind.
was
Lawrenceburg Bourbon
Anyway.
creamy balls coming soon.
It specifically reminds me of Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah, that's good. And it's like it's got the dark and it's got the sweet. Like it's got a little bit of everything. Yeah, that's freaking good.
You knew, I think almost
He instantly
immediately
knew. He's like, oh,
what the answer was going to be there.
You're like, y'all are crazy. This one sucks. I'm going to keep this one for myself.
Yeah, we've got to.
Are you guys sure? I don't think I could send you out the door with
We got
this
to put
one.
some.
Crap, that's the wrong one. I got to take that back.
We got to put some wood chunks in this one.
Yeah, we got a French oak this.
Do our French oak thing.
Oh my
Which
God.
actually, I kind of want to do with one of these bottles whenever, like whatever we pick.
It's awful. It's just awful.
Just tell us.
Like,
We have fun with it. We have fun with it as enthusiasts, just experimenting with it. But like,
it's fine to put in maybe a bottle to try it.
yeah.
But
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like not going full hog and,
no.
taking over a whole barrel. I'm just thinking like one of the bottles we set aside and we put, our French oak or whatever.
We
in
did it
or
just
maybe
as
not.
same as you were talking about.
Yeah.
We tried it and I was like, damn, I wish you hadn't done that because I just wasted a bottle of our stuff. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's not horrible. You could drink it and you'd be very happy drinking it, but it just changed it so much. And
I
you
wouldn't
could
change
tell.
anything about that one.
You could tell
Yeah.
that
Man.
it had been, and it's like in the wine. My family come out of the wine industry in Australia, and so it's like the wine industry where they're dropping staves into the wine barrels to
Right.
try and give it some more oak or whatever. And I'm really opposed to doing that.
Yeah.
And it makes it taste like you're sucking on a plank of
Right.
wood.
Are you okay with like a double barreling, like a double?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
don't think just don't throw a bunch of stuff in there.
Right.
Gotcha.
Oh, I think double barreling is great.
Okay.
And finishing if that's your thing, that's
Uh-huh.
not our thing, but if that's your thing,
Yeah.
great.
So you've now touched on something which I think might show us a little bit more of your hand than you did earlier. But
Ooh.
your family, it comes from winemakers, and
Yes.
so distilling and basically just creating alcohol is something that you're not unfamiliar with.
Well, no, there's a reason I'm not involved in that anymore because I was really bad at it. And
He can't even be a farmer.
I can't be a farmer for the
Well,
love of God. And it's making wine's really hard.
Sure.
And I have no scientific or aptitude or attention to detail, so I can't do any of that stuff.
How do you? Okay, so this is not as serious as the last question I asked.
Okay.
But so we're picking a single barrel, and like we picked one last year at New Riff, and we just put like a little logo sticker on it that had like like this is my bourbon podcast thing.
Mhm.
How do you feel when you see a bottle that's like mutilated, like wax dipped, or like a sticker? Or are you okay with like just like a clean sticker, like to show that group picked it or something like that? Like what do you feel about the single barrel scene where people maybe go overboard, or maybe they just keep it simple?
Look, I think it's horses for courses, really. I mean, the whole overblown thing isn't my deal,
Yeah,
but people like it. So if they like it and it makes them happy, I don't give a shit.
there you go.
What we'll do with this pick is we'll have a small copper medallion, which will go on the front of the bottle, and then we'll run a panel up the side, which will say, it's picked by you guys and all that sort of thing. But so once we have this out in stores and distribution, if you see it's a tiny, like about the size of your thumbnail. It's a small copper medallion that'll stick on the front, and that way it's a store pick or a private barrel pick.
Right.
And then we'll put the identifier on the
Nice.
side.
Very cool.
Like, it's just a little bit understated, but yeah, I have absolutely zero problem with people putting it in a velvet bag and
Right.
putting flashing lights on it. If you want to do that,
Sprinkles.
Actually, what we should do is put in a bag so it explodes with shit.
Glitter bomb.
Glitter bomb, yeah,
Don't take that if you're listening.
Yeah.
That's ours.
that's TM'd. We've trademarked that business.
Could you imagine? You don't tell the people who are buying the bottles from your single
be so
barrel,
great.
and they get it, and they're like, "Why is there so much air in this bag?" And they open it up with all that pressure getting
Yeah.
released, and
I have to tell you a very funny story about that. We bring out our own coffee, as you tried today, and it's being made by Good People Coffee in Paris. Anyhow, so we experimented, and we were putting it in bottles, like our same bottles that we put our whiskey in, and we put it in, and we didn't degas it enough. So there I am. I'm like going, we'll see how it's been. So I'm taking the top off, like just pulling the cork out. It explodes, and there is just coffee beans from asshole to breakfast time.
From asshole to breakfast time, maybe my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, that's a saying.
Put that on a shirt.
That's your new thing.
That could be our new logo, a new slogan.
Yeah. I want to see
Lawrenceburg
that.
Bourbon Company.
From arsehole to breakfast time.
I love that.
But you have to say ass. You can't say
Ass.
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 Yeah, ass.
Ass.
That sounds like you're saying ice.
Ass.
Ice.
Oh, I get
Ice.
If,
Oh, okay,
Arse.
now I hear the difference.
arse.
Arse.
No, now you sound like a leprechaun.
Oh, the pirate. Arr.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what we could do. We could put pirate hats on the top of all of our bottles.
Yeah, let's do that.
And a parrot.
That's
Let's make a sticker that's like a ass, but it's like it looks like an ice cube.
how about
A melty
how
ass.
about we do 2 bottles, 2 barrels. One's a bourbon, one's a rye. The bourbon has a pirate hat, and the rye has a parrot.
I think that'd be good.
What the bourbon is a breakfast sticker, and the other one is an ass sticker.
It's just a cat butthole.
Oh,
I think that'd be a big seller.
Oh man.
So,
Okay.
so
Anyway.
if we made a sticker and just gave it to like the people who bought it, and that they wanted to slap it on there, like on the back, you would be fine with that.
Oh, we'll do all that for you.
Okay. Well, we just wanted to make sure, like, if we
We just need your info. We'll stick it on there, and the punters that are at the event will be able to. They'll be the only ones who'll be able to get them. And that'll be it.
Okay.
You don't have to do another thing apart from pick it.
It's the craziest
Love
thing.
you so much.
It's such an ideal situation for us too. And I wanted not only to
That
like
nose is really good on
it's
this
so good, right?
Yeah.
I not only wanted to like share this experience of picking the barrel with our listeners, but also just, you know, there are plenty of people who have never picked a barrel before. And this is a good insight into, you know, on a very personal level, what it is like, and just the excitement and kind of the camaraderie that comes from it too, when you're just
Oh, it's amazing, that part.
sitting around hanging out and having
Talking about breakfast and asshole.
And right, which is what we do all the time in here. But
Yeah.
and you know,
that's just a Tuesday.
I wanted to give you guys the whole experience of pulling it out of the barrel and that sort of nonsense, but you don't have to do that.
There was something outstanding happening
Yeah,
at the distillery today.
yeah.
So
health inspection.
This is good too.
this
Oh, I like this one.
I like this one for different reasons from the previous. So this is our 5th barrel, 5th sample.
13B.
13B, yeah.
And it still maintains some of that creaminess that we were getting with the previous barrel, but there's a sharpness to it as well that like the rye spice I think is coming through a little bit more.
I think this is the funkiest of the bunch to me. This throws me off a little bit, and I like that.
It's definitely funky.
It's
It's the Marky Mark of the group.
That was
Yeah.
Did I beat you to it?
you did.
Thanks.
Marky Mark.
I was trying to find a good joke for it, and you know sometimes simple is just better.
I'm a simple guy.
Didn't mean to imply that. That was another one of those instances where I was like, I only heard it when it was coming out of my mouth. Golly, he's never gonna have us back.
Probably not.
Or he's gonna have you back.
Yeah.
not me.
He's just gonna be like, I just want to eat some snacks. Will you just come down and hang out with me?
Do you want to come to my
Yeah.
daughter's 3rd birthday party in October?
My dogs are having some a birthday party. Bring your dog. We'll just eat snacks all day.
That'd be great.
Out of dog food bowls.
I got little corgis. They're running.
Oh, I got a Doberman and a English sheepdog Australian Shepherd cross, which is It's crazy. His name's Raylan Givens.
I'm sure he's in.
Raylan,
Raylan Givens. Mm.
like on Justified.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Doberman's name's Betsy Ross. She's been married 7 times. See, I bet most people didn't know Betsy Ross has been married like 100 times.
And this man bet all his pieces on his dogs liking this.
That's true. That's sadly true. Okay, what do you guys think of this guy?
Man, this may be the most.
It is the funkiest, but I think that it's the most balanced with complexity.
I was gonna say it's the most complex. to me.
Yeah.
Like that's why I've not really said anything, because I'm seeing different things. I'm thinking of different things. Like it's it's not punching me like the last one did.
Mm.
It's making me think more.
I think the one before is more of like the crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Because it is so like inviting. There's so much that you can just spend time with and enjoy in, you know, certain aspects of it. This might be the like bourbon drinkers bourbon out of the bunch.
This is the bourbon nerds.
The
I'm just gonna
nerds.
say.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Eric always
Yeah.
says bourbon nerds, and I think that's probably right.
And so like I'm
it's a bread pudding on the nose.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a bread pudding
Oh,
on
yeah.
the nose. Bourbon bread pudding. And then it adds something else on the palate. Like, I don't know if it's like a raisin. Like, adds a little raisin, like raisin bread to it.
I have an idea. I'm just kidding.
I have an idea. Let's put raisins in this.
Ooh.
Raisin finished bourbon.
Okay, that wouldn't be good.
I
would
would
not be
rather
good.
not. I'd rather be
No.
nibbled to death by ducks.
Yeah. What?
Nibbled to death by ducks. That would be another good T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
I don't know. I've
Think
never heard
about
that
it.
before either.
I mean, I'm thinking about it.
Would they nibble you or they
Have
peck
you thought about this a lot?
Nibble. You know.
Have you
But-
thought about this?
but
a
don't
lot?
they
Well,
go like this?
No.
Oh, that's a chicken does that.
Yeah.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
No, my dad.
Is
it's
this a-
it's a saying my dad says.
This is a childhood thing.
Yeah.
You got attacked by ducks at the pond, didn't you?
I'm looking for a new therapist.
Just come and see us two. We'll,
Yeah,
we'll sort you out.
So yeah, this is, if the last one was like a banana split, this is like a raisin, almost like a raisin cinnamon roll bread pudding thing.
Rum raisin
Yeah.
waffle cone.
This borders finished. It borders
it
a
definitely
finished
does.
bourbon.
So the question now, I think we're all in agreement that we're between the last two.
Betwixt and between or just between?
I truly don't know the difference, so I'm going to say yes.
It means you're somewhat confused.
Oh.
I'm just going to say, for one, like all 5 of these are definitely selling out.
Oh, there's no way that they're sitting.
No. They all bring something different, which is amazing. I do think the last 2 I'm torn between. I put 12A above 11A.
Yeah.
So I like 2 more than 1. I put 3 out only because it's a freaking ride to me.
Yeah. That's not what we're going for, I
Right.
think is like an important aspect of this.
And 13A and B are, I can't figure out which one I want more of.
Well, see, that's the thing is that as much as we can hem and haw about like what we prefer,
Right.
I do think that it's important to take into account who are we picking for.
Yeah.
You know,
Greg. We're picking for
we're
Greg.
picking for Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
But
He's-
this
This is Greg's barrel.
That's I think that's exactly the right thing to say, because I sit there when I'm looking at doing our barrels and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, hang on, I like bourbon that's really rye forward and that sort of thing. But does everyone else?
Yeah.
Probably not. So I've got to try and temper what I want versus what I think will have appeal or what other people will like. And end of the day, I just pick what I want. But anyhow.
Well, see, that's why I'm like leaning towards 13A, because I do think that it is
Yeah, that one's gone.
the crowd pleaser. But
Yeah,
there's
because
but
I mean, there's people that are going to be at the show. There's people that are on Patreon that we know for a fact that they don't get as nerdy as other people.
Yeah.
They just enjoy something good.
And I would fall into that camp, right? So, yeah, I don't. I think any of these.
I think she should tell us what she likes.
Yeah, Emily, do you like the
Oh.
13A or 13B better?
13A.
Oh, straight off the
That's-
bat, she didn't
hey,
think about it.
Damn,
I remember.
I mean that's
that's why she's the bourbon steward of the year.
what we were kind of leaning towards anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have any problem with it.
I just need to know when B is going to, like, I need to know when you put B in the
13A
box.
for us, 13B for you all, and also let us know when 13B comes out so we can be here and
Happy
get it.
birthday,
Happy
Happy
Emily.
birthday!
Yeah, thanks for everything.
Did you say happy birthday back?
Yeah.
That's amazing. In August.
I had headphones on, so I
No,
can.
she did. But I feel much better now. It's like my birthday.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
We're all celebrating our birthday. Right?
Yeah.
Anytime you pick a barrel, it feels like your birthday.
It does.
So what do you think? I mean,
God,
Do you need to revisit anything?
Let's revisit A and B. I'm gonna
13A and B.
13
just
A
side
and
by
B.
side?
We got enough. I got enough. I'm gonna
Oh,
side
yeah.
by
Do a
side
side by side.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Mm.
But at the bare minimum, like if I had to just kind of go off of gut instinct.
A. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I thought you said hey. I was like, what?
Hey.
I thought you said ass.
I thought you said ice.
I don't know the difference right now, honestly.
Hey,
All
by
right.
the way, what did you think of our new coffee?
It's really good, man.
Thank you.
I really like it.
I mean, coffee, bourbon, like it's legit.
you haven't even tried it with the bourbon cream in it.
Oh, that bourbon cream's great.
All right,
Fantastic.
this is B.
Oh, you're trying it? Awesome. This is great.
And then he's pouring A.
So this is B.
This is B.
You know I have to write this down so
Mhm.
I remember which one's which. By the way, I've been writing down all your tasting notes because that's what's going to end up on our website.
You told us that prior to
Don't laugh.
beginning the recording.
That's what it's going to be.
No, I know exactly what you're doing here. You're sourcing.
I like that.
Yep.
But you know what, man?
This is A.
Like
This is A.
this is A.
Mhm.
This goes back to what I was kind of saying
you, sir.
earlier that we are so happy to be a part of the growth of this company, and I mean, whatever you need from us, let us know.
Have
I
you
mean,
got a spare $500,000?
I mean, I can make an Instagram post.
Well, that might be good.
what's
I
that
can
worth?
pour your whiskey over snack cakes, Greg.
Hey,
I
look,
will-
it's not
I
all
will
about
take
the
a
money.
spoonful of Vegemite for you, okay?
I think I've got you converted to Vegemite.
I think you got the both of us just.
I
raring
think
to
this
go
is going
on
to save
it.
me a lot of money when my wife wants to make a charcuterie board, and I just
Oh,
say, like,
yeah.
Oh yes.
get me some crackers and Vegemite, you're good to go.
Yep. Yep.
Can we even get this? Did you have to order this?
Yeah, it's hand carried.
Hand carried.
Yep. I bought like 2 pallets of it back. Pallets, 2
How's
flats
that?
of it back.
Like this guy really wants some Vegemite.
Oh,
Wow.
dude. I only go home once a year, so I've got to really stock up.
When do you normally go home? In the winter?
No, summer
winter?
here. No, I go home in summer
Ah.
because it's Australian football season
Oh,
in Australia's winter, and I love the Australian football. Go Fremantle Dockers! Woo!
I was about to ask who your footy team was. So.
My
Yeah,
favorite
the
team,
Dockers. Actually, we should. They could become the official Australian football team of the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they should.
I would-
The official
I-
Australian. team
I
of the podcast.
love the idea of really obscure
Ooh.
sponsors.
Okay, so
I go back, and I love both of these.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
When you go back to B 13B,
Oh, I don't know, dude.
A's phenomenal.
Can you give me a cracker?
that's actually a
Two
good idea.
crackers.
It's actually good trying them beside each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they're definitely in the same family. But yeah, one I can pick out so many notes on instantly, and one that I just have to think about a little bit.
Oh, that cracker's nice.
Cracker's really nice. Cracker's actually stellar.
Mm.
A makes me giddy.
I think A is the instant like. B is the thinker like.
That's exactly right.
It's A. You pour A and you instantly know this is good. This is something special. You pour B and it's like, okay,
It takes you a second.
yeah.
I want people to instantly like what we pick, though.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
13A.
and
it
it's
is.
as much as I love 13B, and I do enjoy spending time with it. I just think 13A is
I mean, it's the instant, like it's an instant like you said, like we could think of different stuff instantly.
Well, everyone loves hot fudge sundaes.
That's true. With a little banana on the side.
A little banana.
Dude,
I think you've got to win a chicken dinner.
I think we've got to go with A. I think we have to.
13A it is.
Well, I think part of that is that when folks come to the event and on Patreon and stuff, you know for a fact they'll buy it, and no matter what their palate is, they'll like it.
Yeah.
Well, and you know,
You're exactly right, Rick.
we almost touched on it and we kind of missed it just a little bit, but we understand that there are going to be people who aren't able to make it to this event, but we are very fortunate though that this barrel is still going to be available through I almost said Bardstown, Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
I wish.
It will, yeah, right. It will be here. Whatever gets left over. So for the folks who may have wanted to make it to the event and weren't able to, you're still able to get it here. I know that there are people who are going to probably need something shipped one way or another.
There's a couple of states we can ship to.
Yeah.
I don't know offhand what they are, but there are a few.
We've got some olive oil orders that need to go out, right?
I got a lot of barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
That's right. Yeah.
You can never have too much.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why we have to mail it to so many people.
Yeah.
But I think that's, we just wanted to let you all know, too, that as maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, as much as we wanted this to be just like an event exclusive pick, you're still going to have the opportunity to get this even if you don't come to the weekend. But
it's going to go
it's
from
the
level
official,
to level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still the official pick of the weekend. It's just this is.
Greg, are we going to see you around the weekend?
Heck yeah, I've already booked. I've already booked my room.
There we go.
Dude, that's the other part of it too. That Greg is actually going to be around. I mean, you're going to be there pretty much.
I'll be there the whole time. You won't be able to get rid of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll be like a tick.
Our tasting
my brother
and
has Lyme disease.
I love this. It's amazing.
Oh my god.
Greg fits right in.
It was a very
it.
long journey.
Oh, I bet.
He missed most of high school and all of middle school.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was homebound for 5.5 to 6 years.
Oh, ticks freaked me the F out.
No, I can't. Having watched somebody go. Thank you. Having watched somebody go through that. I mean, just
Oh my god.
the anxiety that I have thinking about ticks is so
On the farm
massive.
in summer, there's just ticks everywhere, and the dogs bring them in, but of course they're vaccinated. We're not, and ticks just freak me out.
If we could get the medical community to accept across the board that Lyme disease actually exists as an illness, then maybe we could get a vaccine for it. But there are doctors who truly do not believe that it's a thing.
But it's interesting. Every vet in America thinks it's a thing,
Well, of
knows it's
course.
a thing, right? But
Vets are just smarter doctors.
exactly, because they've got to learn a lot more stuff.
Doctors.
Oh,
Gotcha. I was waiting on that.
that was almost a catastrophe.
Yeah. A catastrophe. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are gonna love this.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I did just do a tiny little blend between the two of them.
Ooh.
One to one, just out of curiosity, but that's how we kind of roll here. Go for it. Just go for it.
When
Don't
you
give me
guys
that
did
face.
the blend between two of the rye casks when you're on your show, I was like, oh no. So I came into the cellar door the next day and I did it. And I was like, oh fuck, that's good.
They were right.
They were really good.
Okay, that's a completely different animal.
Oh wow.
Wow. Haha.
We're not doing it. Not doing it.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
that's really good. Don't look at me.
Don't say no.
He can't.
You're dead to me.
You,
Oh. Anyhow. Moving on.
no, he's got to. This has got to be.
Oh, that
No,
was,
you're right.
That was good.
You're right. But
Okay, this is a good thing to do.
It is a good thing to do.
A, and then when they release B,
Well, you know B's going to be bottled on Monday after this.
Well, good point.
scratch that.
So B could still be available at the gift shop when people are here
right.
for the meetup.
You know what? I think we'll keep B until the event, so they're both sort of so they can
Yeah.
people can try them out because it doesn't matter to us which way we bottle them.
That's amazing right there.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well,
Yeah.
But A will be the pick. That'll be the
A
one with
is
the.
it.
A is the.
That'll have the medallion. That'll have the.
But if you want to
business.
complete the collection, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's great.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to call these 13 A and B. That's just what they call now.
A and B.
Yeah.
13A, 13B.
Yeah. No,
13's actually my family's lucky number too.
I
so-
got-
Oh, and he brought out the bourbon.
I got
Balls.
13 tattooed on me.
I need to get new tats, but
Oh,
I'm scared of
yeah,
needles.
they got bourbon balls too.
Yeah. These are our. These are made literally about half a mile up the road. No, half a mile up the road. Bourbon balls with our bourbon.
Oh wow.
This has got
Oh
Lawrenceburg
my gosh!
Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company 1 cask in it. So 123 proof, I think this was.
Oh wow. Oh, it's so good.
They are good.
That's incredible. What are we doing?
So when you come for a tasting, you get a bourbon ball. Oh my god,
Well,
they
that
are
was
good. I hardly ever eat
Greg's
these.
balls are
phenomenal.
They're a little salty,
amazing. That's okay.
and so are the chocolates.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Oh wow, that's so good. Legit, those are really good.
All right. Well, it's been a successful day.
I got a mouthful of ball.
Better too. Do we have any high proof hot takes this week? I don't.
Don't fuck with Greg. It's my hot take. Or my advice.
Grunts of approval from Greg.
Yeah, that's why I don't go out much. I don't like crowds.
You're gonna struggle with the meetup then, man.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be taking pictures with you, and they're gonna be.
I
having
tell you,
boys
when we released the bourbon, I think I told you this offline, but I must have signed 500 bottles. Right,
That's so cool.
and one guy says, "Oh, I just got a bottle signed by Brent up at Four Rose." He was a local guy.
Yeah.
Got a bottle signed by Brent. And I was like, "Can you do me a favor?" I said, "When you go home, please take a photo of the one you had with Brent, the one you had, and put them next to each other."
Yeah.
So the guy takes a photo, texts it to me. I texted immediately to Brent and said, "Your job's not that effing hard." He didn't respond.
Greg just did the
You haven't talked to him in 6 weeks.
the most low key flex ever.
Baller move.
Not the fact that he's signing bottles and all this. The fact that he said, "I text Brent." And
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
That's.
He didn't respond though.
But you've got some other messages he's responded to though. Right?
Oh yeah, he's
Okay,
the
see,
nicest
there you
man
go.
ever. He's the nicest man on the
There you
planet.
go.
Anyway, tips and bits.
Flexing. That's a flex.
Yeah.
What, do you have anything you want to recommend to people?
Yeah, this can
week?
be anything like
Ooh.
TV, movies, music, anything.
Ooh. No.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Lawrenceburg Bourbon.
Yeah, but no, seriously, if you're coming down, when you're like on our website, which is lawrenceburgbourbon.com, if you make a booking and for whatever reason you want me to be there, just put it in the notes of the booking
Oh, cool.
and I'll make sure I'm here.
Yeah.
Can't do
So-
that at Four Roses, Brent.
Yeah, thanks, Brent.
So much shade.
He's really not going to respond to any text now.
You find out if he really listens to the podcast.
Yeah,
over
right.
there.
Oh, yeah. But
I
no,
get a
seriously.
DM from like
The Four Roses social media team, they're like, could you calm down a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they probably do. They're like, all those big companies are like
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. They got the little people in the switchboard. They're like,
Yeah.
posting things there.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Oh,
as
do you
soon
know
as
what they
we
said about that?
as soon as we said something bad about a larger distillery, I got an email saying, "Hey, we heard you weren't happy with something."
That's true.
Did you really?
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. We'll talk about that off.
Well, if you talk any shit about me, you'll be getting an email. It won't be an email.
Hey, I
we
know how
don't-
you handle business online, so
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've got the screenshots to prove it.
But yeah, so come on down and visit with us. We always have a good time, and I think our whiskey's pretty good. And
It's really good.
we're 4 years away from having our own stuff, but we're only about 6 months away from being in our new facility. Okay, so I was like, oh yeah, we'll be opening July the 4th of July. There is absolutely no chance we're opening 4th of July. The guide couldn't even turn up with a freaking key.
the key man,
The key man,
the key
who's-
master's out.
Yeah, the key master's going to
Fired.
get it this afternoon. But
Oh, damn.
yeah, but we're super excited for the new place. It'll be big. You know what? Opening day, you guys have to do a podcast from there.
Yes, can do.
Put it on the.
As long as we're in town, the answer is yes.
Well, we can change the opening for you guys.
Oh, okay, all right, sure. Why not? We'll pick another barrel and people can just.
Yeah.
That would be nice to, like, no joke, like pick a barrel on opening day.
Oh
like,
yeah,
On
for
site?
sure.
on site,
And we would actually have the barrels there.
and you
Oh,
could,
yes.
and if you had enough, or people could come by and be like, oh, I like this one, I like this one, as we're like picking it and stuff.
Ooh.
This is $1 million.
It'd be a short
idea.
barrel if you put enough for everybody, but like that would be awesome. Like
Well, even if you did a dozen little things,
Oh,
and got
yeah,
a
for sure.
bit of a sample
yeah,
size.
if they run out, they run out. But a couple of people could come up and be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I like this one." We could and just narrow it down. Like these are the
we
top.
do it for your Patreon members that are in town.
Oh,
They can come and do
yes.
it.
Yes.
Patreon.com.
Slash
Patreon.com.
Bourbon Podcast for as little as $1 a month.
They're the ones that can come and do it.
There we go.
You heard it here.
I like that idea.
That's fun. Hey, this is what we're about, man.
I mean,
Breaking the
I'm
mold,
down
doing
for it.
something different. I love it. I love it. Eric, what do you have to recommend this week?
Let's see. What do I recommend? I'm not going to do any spoilers on The Mandalorian.
Episode 4 was pretty great.
Is that
Epi-
a TV show?
It
Yeah.
is. It's a Star Wars show. Episode 3, I've got
I'm
thoughts.
not judging.
Grunts of disapproval from Greg.
I've got thoughts on episode 3. Episode 4 was amazing. I loved that. On the anime side of things, Boruto, it's coming to the first part's coming to an end. It's been really good lately. And then I would recommend coming down to Lawrenceburg Bourbon and hanging out
Well,
with Greg.
I like that.
What if I just was like, yeah, I'm not going to recommend that?
You're like, no, I don't recommend that. Greg punches you
You
in the
know,
face.
I could like just go like this.
I know how to.
And you'd bleed out and like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the thing. He knows exactly
minute or
where my
two.
carotid artery
Actually,
is.
bleed out in about 35 seconds.
There he goes.
Because
Well,
it pumps.
I haven't felt this threatened since the fall of 2018.
What
we
happened
know.
there?
Oh.
Tell you offline.
We'll
Anyway,
talk about that later.
I'm very excited now.
You'll want to hear this, Greg.
yeah. So please come down here, please, for the love of God, save my life. And I don't want to die yet.
Yeah.
My daughter's only 2. I want to see her grow up.
Well, it's probably better that it happens early. Because that way she can like get to love a new father.
That's-
Just an idea. I'm just throwing it out.
Love it.
and she won't remember me.
This is my style of podcast.
I am
right here.
so sad right now. My heart just broke into a million
Y'all
pieces.
thought I made period a lot. We got Greg on here.
Yeah. Well, I just come in and break shit and then leave.
yeah,
Like
that's
I just
yeah.
broke.
Chaos.
It's the house party that you had when your parents were away. And
But I will bring chocolate.
There you go. And balls.
Chocolate balls.
Chocolate balls.
Chocolate salty balls.
What do you got to recommend, Barry?
I don't really have anything. This
Okay.
week. I've been really busy. I did get through with a book this week called Beartown. It's about a small Norwegian hockey city or hockey town. Kind of a crime thriller-y story. They made it into an HBO series, which is not available on HBO Max anymore, which I kind of hate. But at the same
Well, it's
time,
probably for the best.
yeah, I don't. There's parts of it that I would rather not see depicted.
Oh,
in-
it's like that.
yeah, mostly because it makes me sad more than anything. I'll tell you about it off air. I don't want to spoil anything. Really great book though. An extremely poignant depiction of human emotion and just grieving through a lot of different aspects of life. Teenagers, parents, seniors in a community. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say it was a fantastic book, but there were points where I was like, how much longer do I have?
Really? Say,
like, just let me get through this. But anyway, Beartown, great book. Also, come here.
Yeah, come here.
come here. You'll even see the Christmas lights.
Yeah, right here.
It's Christmas all year at Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Right. You know where else Christmas is all year?
Patreon?
Patreon.com/
Oh, shoot. I forgot I had
My Bourbon Podcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show, and at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. You get this episode uncut, the stuff we can't say to the masses.
Ooh.
You get the Patreon pregame chats. You get pours from the floor. Sometimes we do Simply Irresistible. And then if you buy a VIP ticket to the weekend, you'll get to be part of the pregame chats and the Patreon stuff, because we're going to record all that stuff Friday night, and apparently Greg's going to be there, I think.
So tell me, for my edification,
Yes.
when is the weekend?
Oh, so it is Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, perfect.
Well,
I'm
perfect.
gonna wear my medals.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'll have a vest on.
A vest and medals.
Yeah.
What about the bottom half?
Nothing.
Okay. There
Oh,
you go.
I might wear a loincloth kind of deal.
Loincloth?
Because it gets a bit drafty.
I
in
love
the
it.
Yeah, you
Marriott.
just gotta make sure everything airs out, you know.
Yeah.
I did tell you, Eric, that we not only had a new patron,
Okay.
but we had one who upped their pledge.
Yeah.
as well.
Me and Greg saw him.
You both saw it.
Yeah, me and Greg saw him.
I want to prepare you for this. You're about to
Okay.
witness art in action.
Okay.
But
What?
our new patron. Do you want me to start with the new one, or you want me to start with the one that
See,
upped?
I know who upped, but let's just go ahead and get the up.
Okay,
out of the way.
well, the upped one was our friend Justin Lewis.
Justin Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Greg were hanging out with Justin.
Justin's the business.
He is.
Love him.
It was just recently. Me and Greg kind of tried to, prepare for the show a couple of days ago, and he came down here, and he had been at Four Roses, he had been at Wild Turkey, and all that. And I said, "Listen, dude, go down to Lawrenceburg, go to Lawrenceburg Bourbon, find Greg. He's got the meat." That's all I said. I said, I'm not going to be able to go. I text Greg and I said, just walk in, say, "Hey, Eric, Whiskey Mutant said you got the meat." And
Went well.
it went well. That's all we can say. That's a thing that, unfortunately, even Patreon doesn't know. If you come in and you ask for Greg and you go, "Where's the meat?" It's a whole thing. So, Justin, I appreciate you. You support this place. You support us.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you enjoyed the meat.
Yeah, he's like the brother I never had.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, Chris. That's my actual brother. But
What if his brother wound up being Chris?
oh,
Chris and Lil Chris,
Oh.
our Aussie friends
Yeah.
who are in Brisbane. That would be so.
Oh, no.
funny.
If they're from Brisbane, it's definitely not.
No, I
related
know,
to me.
but well, they live in
No,
Brisbane.
I mean,
I don't know where they're
can't
from.
be related
initially.
to anyone from Brisbane.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's like being related to someone from Connecticut.
ooh.
Wow,
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, John Mayer.
Is he from Connecticut?
He's from Connecticut. He's from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Yeah. Anyway, I know too much about that man.
Yeah.
And also our new patron, which I guess the both of you all hung out with
Yeah,
as
we
well, Jonathan Johnson.
Jonathan Johnson.
JJ.
JJ. Oh,
JJ.
JJ.
Oh, JJ came down and he said, "You know what? I ain't got time to stop at any restaurant. I've got to hit every place I can." Me and Greg said, grab some beef jerky from the gas station. We recommended Mingy.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yes.
Mingy is the best beef.
It is the
Mingy.
best beef jerky. You get it at Marathon now.
Yeah, he took a bite at the marathon, and like you saw, as you talked about my eyes popping.
Yeah.
Dude, he popped, and something at the bottom popped when he
Yeah.
had some Minky.
His shoes.
No,
He was puckering.
yeah, he got some pocky going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the first thing he had to do was come to Lawrenceburg Bourbon, and he came in here. Greg said, "You know what? You I know you don't know the password yet, but I've got the meat," and you let him have the meat.
Yeah. He was a good guy.
Not quite brother material.
He wasn't. He was more like distant cousin that
Yeah,
comes to the
but that's
wedding.
okay.
But that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, JJ was like a distant cousin to Greg.
I call him double.
Double.
No, not double dick. Double J.
Double J. That's
Yeah,
right. Okay.
that's what I call. Call JJ.
When you do the meat thing, I have to sit outside. Like I just kind of watch as things are happening.
Did you hear that?
I did.
That's
It's double coming through the.
that's the secret knock.
Yeah, no, that's
It's just running full force
Yeah.
with your shoulder into the wall.
Yeah, but Double J got to experience the meat as well.
yeah, he did.
And he paired it with Mingy, so he had double meat, Double J.
Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah,
like double
and-
barreled but double meat.
Yeah, he's a double barrel, Double J, double meat.
Yep,
and
yep.
I appreciate him being part of the Patreon. I'm glad he did that. And it was fun being the lookout while you all did the Double J.
Well,
Double meat.
I like Double J. I think he's got some potential.
Yeah.
Where am I?
I know.
He's not quite brother.
This was the evolution of this podcast from where it started to where it is now.
We're just saying real life
I
stuff.
know
This
it's
is
just
Lawrenceburg, baby.
crazy, man. The stories that have happened over the past 5.5 years.
If you
The
want to
bourbon
send...
capital of America.
Yeah,
right here.
exactly, right here.
This
The
is my
legitimate
podcast.
bourbon carol.
This is my
The
Lawrenceburg
legitimate.
Bourbon podcast.
Yeah.
If you want to send us a story,
Do you need another cracker?
send us an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to go get some merch, go to bourbonshop.threadless.com. We've apparently made a lot of new merch for Lawrenceburg Bourbon, so be looking
have.
out for that.
We have?
Yeah. Apparently we have a new barrel rings too, right?
Yeah, we'll wait until next week, though.
Next
'Cause
week.
We do it earlier in the episode.
Yeah,
I
that's
forgot.
right.
I want to make sure it's in the right spot.
But if you want to call in and leave us a voicemail and be part of the show and we'll reply to you, you can call 859-428-8253. Then you can go to social media. Facebook, MySpace. We have MySpace.
No, but we can definitely have one.
We need one.
Does
I don't see
MySpace
why
still
not.
exist?
I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think everybody's first connection
in-
is still Tom, too.
Put us in your top 8.
Okay, if you guys go on MySpace, I'll get Emily to put that on MySpace.
There we go.
We
Yeah.
have 2 connections. It's Tom and Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
We could bring MySpace back.
We should. I think it's a better platform than Facebook is.
For the I hate Facebook. Oh, I can't say that, but whatever. If we bring MySpace back, it'll be like our little thing.
Oh. It's like another Patreon.
Yeah,
Right.
Greg's Meat.
we'll
Except
call it
it's-
Greg's meat. Yeah.
For everybody.
Meat space.
Yeah,
Wait.
Space.
Hang on.
Dot Greg.
That's probably already taken.
Greg.com. Oh, that's definitely.
I think that's definitely taken. Yeah.
This show has definitely fallen off the rails.
Yeah, but all social media at My Bourbon Pod. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can follow Greg and everybody at Lawrenceburg Bourbon.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
And then watch us on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube, block everything on YouTube. Perry goes live every Thursday night. I'm going to try to be joining him every once in a while here when I can due to work. Maybe. But I'm here now, and you can watch us on YouTube. And like I said, come to Lawrenceburg and come hang out with Greg. Come to Lawrenceburg Bourbon. Like, they got tasting bars. They got other stuff. It's the most down home, welcoming place that you can go right now, and I truly believe that.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yep.
I don't have anything else to say. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you, Greg, too, for allowing us to
Yes.
come in here.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Oh.
I got a gift for Greg from us.
Oh.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I love gifts.
And okay, so as somebody who owns a company, you're allowed to have bottles from other companies. Right?
Heck yeah.
Okay. I wanted Greg to have a bottle of our last pick that we did for the weekend.
Oh.
So I bought some extra bottles to keep and all that. So I brought you a bottle of our new riff pick that we did for the last year, and I wanted you to have it.
Man, that's awesome. And I really like the new riff too.
Yeah.
We do, too.
When
That's
they do,
yours.
their barrel picks are really, really good.
It just... Nah, we'll talk about it off air.
But they,
It was easier to come here and do a barrel pick than it was.
It truly is. Like,
It's a lot easier.
I'm not gonna say anything, but
Yeah.
their barrel picks are great.
yeah.
You're
I
really
really like
going to enjoy
So that's
this
the one we had for last year,
And they
I'll-
do a much better job than we're going to do for you.
No way. We made that
That's
sticker
not true.
ourselves and put it on there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, then we're going to do a much better job than they did.
yeah. See, There we go.
We're gonna blow this new business out of the water.
2023, baby.
Thank you, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Thank you so much, too, for bringing us into your space, allowing us to pick a barrel. If you are in or around Central Kentucky, please come and visit Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company. What are we doing next week? Do we know?
I don't know. I'm too tore up about 13A right now.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you guys real soon. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
Oh, I'm Greg.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast.
Yeah. Breakfast the Buttholes.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Asshole to breakfast time.
Oh, I got it wrong.
Jeez. Breakfast to buttholes.
Damn it.
Well, that's the more natural progression.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you guys.
See you next week.